NFR.
NFR Extra is a podcast dedicated to the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo and features icons and personalities that embody the Western lifestyle.
The end of this year, you're going to be watching a Resistor Rookie of the Year race in the calf roping, and potentially 3 or 4 back numbers come out of that race. All, you know what I mean? Like, I have a feeling that the race might come down to the 10th round. You know what I mean? Like in the rookie race this year. I think there could be possibly a couple of guys make the NFR be a rookie this year. It's like any event when you're winning, you feel like you can't be beat. Like it doesn't matter what they run in there, no matter what it is, like you just have so much confidence in yourself, your horse, the work you put into it. Like it's like it doesn't matter what it is. Like you got a good one, it don't matter. Like
This is Brylan Bentley, and you're listening to NFR Extra.
I think this story makes us all a little extra proud because this is a Junior World Finals graduate that has become a world champion. So, Riley Webb, we're very, very proud of you. Okay, so before we dive into any of this other stuff, we're not only proud of your accomplishments, but the young man that we've all watched you grow into. So, before we dive into the questions, just thank you for being you.
Thank y'all. I appreciate it.
So talk to us about your parents and how much of an influence they've been on you, because not only do they put on ropings, but they are some of your biggest supporters, whether it's practice calves, driving from rodeo to rodeo. Tell us a little bit about mom and dad.
Oh, for sure. I mean, since the day I was born, I was 2 weeks old when I went to my first rodeo there in Denton, Texas. So, they always I was always around rodeo roping, and they always were involved, for sure. But I mean, 2 weeks old, went to my first rodeo in the hometown, and then they've been putting on ropings for forever, and producing, putting on ropings, helping. Dad helped American, mom and dad helped with y'all. I mean, there was the junior NFR first, and now the Junior World Finals. So they've been around with y'all for a while now and helping and everything, and they've always, been in my best interest for me to chase my dreams and, accomplish what I accomplished this last year. But it's crazy that, you say you want to do all of that, and for them to come true, for it to come true, and for them to, all the time and money and everything they put into it, to see them be, proud of me and, feel like they accomplished something too. It's awesome.
But the one thing that I think is really unique is you have a conversation with, like, your dad, for instance, and talk about horses, and all you do is say, how much have you helped? And he's like, no. Riley does all this on his own. Like, right. So that to me is awesome, because my parents have helped me a lot, but I don't think I bought my first horse until I was out of high school. Whereas they've kind of given you the opportunity to become independent and do a lot of these things on your own, and you've taken them. So that deferment to you to help with your growth and maturity, I think, is something that you've really grabbed a hold of and ran with.
Well, thank you. I mean, I've tried. I mean, for some reason, producing calf ropings and stuff doesn't pay a whole lot. But we didn't, have a bunch of money, but they always had what I needed to get, rope, to do whatever I needed. So they all, obviously they've sacrificed, stuff for them and what they wanted to do, and for me to be able to chase my dreams. But for sure they've helped me, get a first couple, horses, getting started at a young age. And then I was able to, win enough to pay for, my fees, pay for, I want a trailer to begin, so we were able to sell the trailer. The bumper pull we had, I won the bumper pull at the Roy Cooper's Junior Open, which that's really cool too, because they helped put that on too. So it was, full circle. It's kind of crazy how you think about it and talk about it, how it all, so won that. And then was at won money growing up, bought me a horse and was able to, sell that one, upgrade. And then was able to, they had a big roping in Kinder, Louisiana as a 10 header for, it was 15 and under. And I was able to win enough money. I put a down payment on a truck and was able to do that and take the burden off my mom and dad and let them do what they need to do, or what they need to do, the house or whatever, what it was. They don't have to pour everything into me. I could able to pay for stuff and take care of it. And then was able to buy the horse that I made my first NFR on when I was 16 years old. And then that horse changed my life, my whole trajectory of my career, from making the American and making, all the high school finals, won the nationals on him, and then made the NFR on him. So that horse has changed my life.
Yeah, big story. So what was the deal with that horse? Where did he come from?
He come from Angie Green and Mike Green and Gatlin Peck. They had him there in Texas. Well, actually, what's crazy is they had the horse before that I bought from them, and I rode him, and then I ended up selling him. And back to that horse, actually, that roping I was talking about, I won enough money at that roping. I've been saving up, and then I hit a big lick at that rope, and I was bought that horse and got put down payment on the truck all in that week, and then sold that horse. And then we were at a roping, and I was trying a couple horses, trying to find something else, and they're like, well, we're probably gonna sell Titus if you want to look at him. So I was like, well, the jackpot starts here in about an hour. I can ride him. So I rode him in the jackpot, ended up buying him. And then the next week, the horse I was riding got hurt. And then I ended up, first rodeo I rode him at was the American, the year I made it when I was 16.
Oh my gosh.
So, first rodeo I rode that horse, it took, changed
the trajectory of everything.
Everything,
yeah.
yes, sir.
And that was kind of the match right there.
All in God's plan at the right time into everything.
100%. How much pressure, I don't want to say pressure, but like growing up, obviously your parents putting that whole thing on, and all of the ropings and everything that they did, and that's something you want to be a part of. But did you have pressure from your parents at all for like, hey, you need to practice, or you need to get after, or was it just kind of they let you be your own deal and you just went, that's just your passion?
No, they were actually telling me that I needed to not practice as much. No.
I can see Miss Jennifer, baby, you need to take a break.
Yeah, you need to go to sleep. I was tying the dummy in the living room, watching the NF. At that time, we didn't come out here all 10 days. We'd come out here for the last weekend or whenever it was. So watching the NFR at the house, tying the dummy, and it'd be 2:00 in the morning. Like, hey, you need to go to sleep. I was like, it's gonna pay off one day. A couple hours of sleep tonight. It's gonna be all right. I'm gonna get up tomorrow. Yeah. But no, they never had to push me to practice or. Not always. I love to do it. It's what I wanted. If I was roping goats, I roped and tied goats, roped calves in the lot. We could go to some store, tying them down with nobody out there opening the gate. We don't probably not even. That's not the safest thing to do, but whatever I could do to just rope, and it doesn't feel like practice or work if you love to do it.
Right.
It's like I get the rope today. Like heck yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like that's awesome, and I'm so fortunate that I was able to mom homeschool me and then be able to go to school and high school and stuff, but be able to stay home and rope and do it every day. And, there's some, looking back the things that they did for me to be in my position right now at 20 years old, I'm so thankful for them.
Yeah. And your parents are very unique individuals just with how sweet they are. And but your dad, real strong, silent, quiet type, but man, you shake that man's hand, it's like, holy cow, there's a man at the end of that one. So he's something else. But I kind of want to brag on your parents too, because when we started off there, like you said, with the junior NFR, they come together and Jennifer would be timing and secretarying and doing the whole thing, and Dirk was running everything. And then it got, because this was the junior NFR was kind of the first show in town for, there wasn't any other breakaways. There
wasn't much
else.
junior
Nothing.
events
at all.
Besides out here.
Right here.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the catalyst. And this is what, 12 years, Brylan? Something along there, 13?
Will be the 10th year total for Junior World Finals, Junior NFR next year.
Yeah.
I wrote
2015.
8 of them. Yep. Yeah. And so when they started that deal and they're like, all right, we're going to do 3 goes and do a match and shoot. And I was just like, this is going to take forever. Like, I hope you have 8 hours set aside, because you had the breakaway, and then you had the 10 and under, 12 and under, 15, 18 open, whatever it was. And I mean, five head apiece. And I'm like, this is going to be forever. And your dad and mom ran that thing so snappy and so fast and so clean. I mean, you do all that, and I mean, 100 and some odd kids or 75 kids, whatever it was, times that by 3 and 5, and got it done. But your dad and mom have been putting that on forever. But they did such a good, clean job of that. But cultivating the youth and the opportunities that they provided here, and especially working with Las Vegas events for that deal, and the money that's available now, it really is kind of different because, like you said, especially when you're having to pay for some of your own stuff, where you get a nice little check at the end of that. And now, how many ropings they got on for the junior deal throughout Vegas, to where, the rest of the cities kind of grabbed a hold of it and ran with it. But your parents did just a tremendous job with that.
Thank you. It's funny, like mom telling me, you don't got to practice, so go to sleep, rest. That's what I tell her. I'm like, you need help. Like you can't do it all out yourself. Like someone will help you. There's some, like, get help. Like, you don't, at the time, secretary, which y'all have done a great job helping her now throughout the years and stuff. But I was like, you don't have to do it all by yourself.
Yeah.
Well, and it's hard to do it all too.
Oh, for sure.
It's amazing to me the opportunities that have now been afforded, because we've talked to different competitors throughout the years, and you can now come here with all the events that are going on, not just the Junior World Finals, but these other events. As a youth competitor, you can leave Vegas with
thousands.
50, 60, $70,000, when you add it all together. And I feel jealous of this generation, because I love the junior rodeos we had, but I want a lot of buckets and halters. And, we never had this kind of money.
For sure.
So
it's changed in the last
5 years.
Yes, for sure. Since, I was 15 years old, it's changed drastically in the money that we were roping for when I was 12. And now there's 12-year-olds that are winning, $200,000 a year. Like, it's ridiculous. It's crazy.
Do you feel like that helped you with some of those bigger opportunities? Because when you're 16 years old on a stage like the American, and then fast forward to your world championship, do you feel like some of those events help prepare you for those moments?
Absolutely. Financially and, mentally, all right, back in there, you got to, tie 1 and 7, have a chance to advance for $1 million or whatever it might be. And, for sure. I feel like now that I've been in so many pressure situations since, 11 years old out here at the, the Roy Cooper's ropings, or, whatever it is. All right, it's the short round. You got to, do this, or you got to do this to advance to the shootout or whatever it is. So it's always something that you were always in a situation where you had to do this. So, it wasn't like, all right, just catch and you're good. Like, it was always, you got to do this to advance or whatever it is. So always something where you had to step in the moment and, do something for sure.
That shootout would get wild too, because you'd work all the way up, have your time, and then you get to the shootout, and it's like by the time you get done untying and getting your picking string back, you're going right back to the box to go one more time.
Yeah, for sure. One year they ran like 16 calves in the 19 under to win it. I'm pretty sure. It was
wild.
The matches. Yeah.
Yeah, and the cool thing is too is you look at like Cash Robbins steer wrestling, and you look at the kids that are coming up. We saw Shad Mayfield. The timed event side particularly is there's a lot of talent that has been cultivated and groomed right here in Las Vegas, and to see you guys move up and not just qualify, but to take it to the top end of the level at 20 years old is pretty spectacular. Because nothing compensates experience. You had so much experience as a youth. But that time, the dedication, the work ethic that you had, that your parents helped with. The best thing, not giving, just giving a kid money, but like, hey, here's an opportunity. And whether you take that or not, that's all on you. But those hours of like, everybody wants it, but nobody wants to work for it. So like when you had that, that's just kind of a different deal where like God sets a path before you on this deal. It's like, hey, you got to walk it.
For sure. Your parents can only help you so much. They can't win for you. Or,
right.
They can't get out there and, flank and tie from the post or whatever it might be. They can't do that for you. You got to be able to be willing to put in the time and the effort and, the want to be able to do that. They can only do so much for you.
Yeah. So how do you go like on the regular rodeo season in your short career on this side? Like say you have a bad run, how do you reset for going to the next one? Because it's not a shootout to where or a 5-head match or anything like that to where okay, that was my one shot. I'm here, I missed. Get in the truck and go to the next one. What do you do to mentally reset for that win at the next rodeo?
I mean, usually, unless it's like just a big like a mistake like. That can't don't let happen again. Misstring one, or I got where I misstring a couple in a row, and like, all right, slow down a little bit and just make sure you get him, you strong. Simple stuff. It's nothing. At that level, everybody at the professional level, it's not like, all right, if you miss, something happened, or like nobody misses unless that's not the thing where you lose by missing or catching. It's flanking, tying, scoring, or whatever, whatever it might be. So unless it's just drastic, like you idiot, don't, you know what I mean?
Right.
But just try to keep it simple and, just our event, so many variables, the calves, the start, different arena. So many different variables. So just got to back in there. Sometimes you back in there and, you got to tell yourself, I got to be 8-6 to place here. My calf ain't been caught in the last 6 rodeos. So you have no chance before you even run him, but you got to try to max the barrier out, try to get him on his side and try to do all you can to get by him. But before you even get there, you ain't got a chance. But you just got to try to, back in there and give it all you got on the eliminator or the best calf in the pen.
Right. What is the hardest part about going down the road? Like, do you get that kind of the midsummer funk, or, do you find yourself kind of in a lull, or are you just like, all right? Because, your positive mental attitude is pretty strong. So is that something that you don't have a problem with, or do you ever find yourself like, gosh darn it, like we gotta, I want to go home, or I whatever?
Well, so this last year, no, but that year, it was slow for 2 weeks. I just bought the horse Rudy in first week of August, and I made a couple mistakes and just wasn't with him scoring yet. So like, it was just me not with clicking with him led to me making a couple mistakes just because the feel and the, the flow of the run. That there was about 2 weeks where it was a little slow. I didn't win much, but the rest of the year it felt like just was rolling through the year. Like couldn't do nothing wrong. Like made a mistake, it didn't matter. Like just kept going. But my rookie year for sure, didn't get to go to all the buildings. Got to go to getting to Denver from the qualifier, and then I got into Fort Worth from winning my hometown rodeo in Denton to get in, but didn't have a good winter because didn't get to go anywhere. And then the first 2 weeks, Greeley and Reno, I went second at Greeley and won Reno and won like 30,000 that week. I had 17,001 before, from the rest of the year.
Yeah.
So that put me in the top 15 for the first time, first time ever, second week leaving for the summer. So that was huge. And then July 1st, I didn't win crap till, mid-August. So all of July. And it was rough.
Yeah.
I think I won 4 checks from July till mid-August. And I flew back to go to Lawton. I think that's like the 3rd it's like on my birthday, August 4th right there. And I flew back and I had enough rodeos. Like I didn't go as hard. I was not saving the rodeos for the end, but it was my first year out. It was, I think, 75 rodeos. So I just didn't want to get too far deep in it and then not have none at the end. Like I didn't have the feel like I need to be at 50 rodeos at Cheyenne, or whatever it will be. So I had 25 rodeos left, which was plenty I needed. I don't even know how much, maybe 25, 30,000 more or whatever. Like that. Me and Dad flew back, rode with him to Lawton, and I don't even missed the first one at Lawton and misstrung to probably win the second round. Like, shouldn't make those mistakes.
Right.
Don't make those mistakes.
What's Dirk say on that deal? Is he kind of the...
That was a rough week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a rough week for sure. He was just battling it. He's like, because he didn't really know either. He never pro rodeoed or nothing, like, you know what I mean? So he was like, well, what if you stayed back for a couple weeks and went to some of the smaller rodeos here, just try to get back rolling again. And I was like I was not, obviously it wasn't going right.
Right.
I was like, can't panic, the panic button now. Like it's
can't go to bed now. I got 2 more hours of time to sing in the living room.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I'm like, there's 25 rodeos left. I need what 30,000. I was like, you divide that by 25 rodeos. That's 1,200 a rodeo. Like that's
Exactly.
Just
right.
a little bit.
Yeah. You win 3 of them. That's I was like, just got to keep rolling. And as soon as I got back out there from Lawton, Lawton, Hermiston was the next day. I flew back to Hermiston, and I've never had this happen to me before. My rope, I threw it forward, and it went 10 feet backwards. Like literally anything that could go wrong, like that July to August, it was so bad. I'll have to pull the video up and show y'all. It was terrible.
Yeah, because I'm confused. That doesn't make sense.
Exactly. It just, I don't even know what happened. Boomerang. Like after I'm just sitting there on the picnic
Here's
table.
Riley Webb, just a bit outside.
Oh, I was sitting up there and I was like, I'm going to draw this calf. It's going to change, turn everything around. The rodeo was pretty loud. So I could go tire 9, win 4th in the average and be golden. So like I go 2 more swings over and make, when everything's
Conservative,
not going right, you think about it a little bit more. And it just boomerangs. I was sitting out back. I'm like, I mean, we're 18th in the world, and like, what am I doing? Like,
What is happening?
what is happening? Like, and then the next week, it just turned around and went to winning. It went from $10,000 weeks in a row, and we're sitting there, and they said, I needed like 100, get over 103 or 4,000, and I was in. So we're sitting there. I'm placing at Ellensburg, making the short round at Ellensburg, and we're at Filer, Idaho, and it's like 2 in the morning, the slack there, and I was 7.5. They had one more perf after that, but I was winning the rodeo when we left, and that rodeo paid like 4,000 or 5,000. So like I was in. I had to go back to Ellensburg and finish up, but I was in the NFR, and there was like a month left. So that was from the beginning of the month to like the first couple of rodeos, or the whole month of July. It was the worst it could be, and when I went home, I was like, Mom, like I don't want to quit, but like I've never felt this like defeated in my life. Like all these guys out here drinking and, not taking care of their business and just getting my butt kicked, and, I'm taking care of everything, doing everything the right way, and just wasn't working. And then all of a sudden, just 3 weeks you turn around, and then, punch your ticket within a month. And that was a great, never gave up, and never, lost faith, and just always kept pushing forward. And I think that was better for me in my career than to, all right, my rookie year, just win everything, and never, like, you got to lose some to win some, learn some for sure. And I learned so much with that, because it was just me and a buddy of mine helping me drive. So like I wasn't rodeoing with anybody, and I was just trying to, figure it out, which, not saying that's the best route to go your first year, but for me, I felt like it was, because I was like, no one's going to enter me, or like I want to know my schedule. I want to know where I want to go. I'm going to know if I'm going to drive the 8 hour. You know what I mean? Like, so I just liked entering myself and doing where I wanted to go and everything. And then made the NFR. I didn't have the NFR I wanted. Titus got sick before the NFR, which I rode him at every rodeo there was in 2022. So that wasn't best on him. And then right after the NFR, bought that horse Boots, and that changed. Changed everything in another couple weeks.
And then because last year it was like, ladies and gentlemen, this is Riley Webb, and just went to the top and stayed. I mean, it was like whatever you got out of the system on the first year. Last year was like, it's pretty tough to beat this one right now.
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of pissed you off. Come off the month, and then that you're hyped, you're overhyped. All right, 18-year-old kid, where everybody's been waiting for him to get to the NFR. Well, here he is, and he didn't do nothing.
There it was. Yeah. Flash in the pan.
You know what I mean? People start talking, one hit wonder, whatever, made the NFR, all just people talk and everything. And that just makes you want to, work harder.
How many gold buckles do they have you on?
Well, but I would also say, though, that same experience prepared you for this one when you did claim the gold buckle, because watching it Haven Medjed had zero backup. Like, I mean, that to me was one of the most fun races to watch because it kind of took me back to the Fred and Cody days. You know, I mean, where you have two guys that this is literally coming down to the last round and
a couple thousand more less.
Exactly.
Then I'll have to win something in the 10th round, you know, and that's what I was saying earlier. I said the best 2 years, that's talking about myself too, but Haven, like the best 2 years ever in the calf roping was the same year. And, you know, one guy didn't win a gold buckle. That's never like, we both would have I broke the singles. Right. He would have broke it. He said the arena record, the average record, the same year. Like, that's ridiculous.
Let's take a quick pause, and we'll be right back. Want to relive the best NFR moments from the last 37 years? We've got you covered at nfrexperience.com. Check out the NFR History tab at the website for a walk, or should we say gallop, down memory lane. You'll find images, recaps, and videos from the greatest moments from the last 37 years in Las Vegas. From Ty Murray to Trevor Brazil, Louis Field to Casey, Charmaine James to Mary Berger, Fred Whitfield to Joe Beaver, and everything in between, you'll find it here. There's something for all rodeo fans. Check it out at nfrexperience.com, because legacies and memories are made in Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, that literally brought me back to growing up when people, like, the biggest applause came in the tie-down roping, you know, and
I think it's going to get back to it.
Yeah,
fast.
Well, I think with the horsepower you guys have and the level of talent that we have right now, you know, when you get back to a field where, I mean, if you make the finals, you can rope, you know, so there's no doubt there. But when you have 5 or 6 guys that can be 6.5 any night, and that's what they do, you know, that brings a whole new level of firepower to the tie-down roping.
And for sure, like, that's what, you know, Shad, he got to turn loose because he, you know, missed one, went out of the average, and Haven had to go every night because I had such a far lead, and I was able just to, you know, tie mine down. I won a round had the best calf all week, but that's why I haven't got to, you know, turn loose yet, and just, you know, well, my first year was different because just my horse wasn't great. It just was. It's in our event, you can't win if you ain't got a good horse. It's no matter how good you rope, you got. I mean, you're gonna win, but if you want to dominate, you cannot.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
And you can have a good horse, but you can't just be a jockey either. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, you've got now the competition level is going to be, like you said, is increased so much. And this is the conversation we've had to where it's increasing to where it's not like, man, there's 2 or 3 guys that are just going to be runaways. It's like, you know, you can come in at 14 and you got a shot at being number 1 when it's all said and done. And that horsepower, the consistency, and I mean, just the grit attitude that you see in this generation is pretty powerful.
Oh, for sure. That's what I was saying earlier too. I said, the end of this year, you're going to be watching a Resistar Rookie of the Year race in the calf roping, and potentially 3 or 4 back numbers come out of that race. All, you know what I mean? Like, I have a feeling that the race might come down to the 10th round. You know what I mean? Like in the rookie race this year. I think there could be possibly a couple of guys make the NFR, be a rookie this year.
Well, and it's, again, to bring it back to the Junior World Finals, there's so many of those guys we've seen, like Pecos Tatum and Dylan Hancock, and there's just so many that have come through that system. So they, I mean, I hate to say it, but they start feeling more and more comfortable with Vegas. So I don't want to say it's not a big deal, because I think it's always going to be a big deal.
It desensitizes a little bit.
But I mean, you feel like you belong a little earlier. And so I feel like you don't go into round number 1 as nervous as you would have been if, hey, this is your first trip to Vegas. You've never roped anything in Clark County. So I really feel like that makes a difference.
I think that's why I struggled a little bit. Not saying that I was desensitized too much almost.
Right.
I worked my whole life. All right, I made the NFR. What now? Like that's why I felt like there was no nerves or nothing. Like, felt like a dream. Like, all right, I'm here. Like, not everything else out the window. Like, so, and then it changed to, all right, focus and do it. I mean, I was focused, but it just was different. Right. It was like a dream. All right, you worked your whole life, and it just happened so fast. I was just, for me, it felt like I was 15 years old roping out here at the convention center, and then all of a sudden, like, it's the 10th round.
Yeah. So how did it feel though? Because you can come here, you can watch it, and I mean, not to be on the negative side, but it's like the difference of watching a car wreck and being in a car wreck are two totally different things. Watching the NFR and riding out in that tunnel with the jacket and the back number, what did that feel like on your very first round of your very first NFR coming out here and getting that experience?
I watched the 10th round here, the 2021, and I watched it, and I was like, I'm ready to go home now. Like, let's get home. Like, I'm ready. Let's drive home now. I want to get back to
be in the
roping.
kitchen tying the dummy.
I want to rope. Like, I'm ready.
But how did it feel coming out of that? Your first perf coming here in the Thomas and Mack. What did that feel like?
That's what I'm like. I watch it and I'm like, all right, I want to be here next year. And then the next year, you're coming down the tunnel and you're like,
ooh,
let's it's crazy. And then more, you got confidence the year I had, and then. It's like any event when you're winning, you feel like you can't be beat.
Right.
Like, it doesn't matter what they run in there, no matter what it is. Like, you just have so much confidence in yourself, your horse, the work you put into it. Like, it's like it doesn't matter what it is. Like, you got a good one, it don't matter. Like,
you're not going to turn out no matter what. I mean, you're here to win it
for sure. But just, I don't think that's the confidence you get from 11 years old. Each year you get better and better, and I mean, you're not going to get better and better if the person don't want to put the time in and work for it, but just learn confidence and being able to work hard to, there's a goal. All right, I'm 12, 13 years old. All right, all my buddies are going to be roping at the Junior World Finals this year if I don't, get my crap together and work hard to be able to, rope out there. It's the same thing for, the NFR. It's just different. 12, 13, 14, then all right, now you're professional. It's the same thing.
Well, I'm thinking about some different horses in the past, because you talked about horsepower, and it kind of brings me back to, like, Jaguar that Tough and Trevor rode, and Topper that the Coopers rode, and horses like that. Are there, I mean, I know you're proud of what you have, but do you think we're looking at some of the greatest horsepower that we've seen in the tie down roping world right now?
I think it's changed a lot too. So, like I'm saying, the demand on a horse is a lot higher. I know they say, the calves were bigger back then, but they were able to run the calf out there halfway and set it up, make it easier on the horse. Then, all right, I'm coming over the chute with it and throwing it to the inside and bailing off. He's on his own, and I got to be 6'1". Like, it's changed a lot, and not just all right, we got to tie, 7. If I'm 7 5 times, what I mean? Like, they didn't have to go at them as hard. They were able to set it up and be everywhere. You're not sub 8 seconds, 7 seconds. You're not getting paid.
Right.
So I think the demand's a lot higher. But the horses are so. I mean, all these for charities and stuff. I mean, it's just like the kids. The horses are starting younger now. Like, they're 4 or 5 year old. They're taking them for charities and getting them. Seasoned and ready to go earlier. It's just like the kids. That's why I think everything's getting tougher, because everything's starting sooner, and there's more money in our events now to make it worse starting that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that, I mean, you need a short fuse and a big bang on those horses. And that's, we were talking to Wags and, talking about the score, like, well, how much do you give him here? And he goes, you kick twice in the box before the animal leaves. I mean, especially in this setup here, is that demand. I mean, when you're talking 6s in the tie down roping, that's borderline unheard of. I mean, when did anybody think, like, okay, you're going to rope, dismount, tie in 6 seconds and some change is phenomenal. That's just, it's insane.
That's like the horses I have right now. They're great. But I don't think I found my NFR horse yet. Even after this last year, like, it's so different. Like, the calves I tied in 7-3, if I had something that would spot the calf a jump farther and when it goes around the neck, it's tight and coming around, that run's going to turn into 6-8,
Yeah.
But just like Marty and Buster, Marty got on Buster out here. He went, every other night, Cody, Ole, and Pearl. Like, it's just the NFR horse, Haven and Little Punch. Like, he rode the Bay a lot last year, and then got out here on Little Punch and just, went at him hard. So I think you got to have, it's so different out here, but it's so worth it. You have to find the fit for your horse, because the grounds are going up every year. For too long, the horses are going to be worth $300,000 because rounds the NFR are going to be $50,000.
Right.
So I mean, it's just everything's going to keep going up.
Going up, yeah.
for sure. But I don't think I found my NFR horse yet for that.
So your horses don't listen to the podcast, so you can say this. But are there any that you kind of look over the fence and you're like, man, that's a really, really nice ride. I wouldn't mind if that one was on my trailer.
I mean, I'm very fortunate with the ones I have, but the Rudy was everybody wanted the Rudy horse. I never thought he would sell him. I just guess wore him out enough where he finally sold him. But no, that horse is so good outside. I mean, he's so good in here at the NFR, but he's so strong, runs so fast, and it's like he goes the same speed as the calf no matter what. The calf's loping, he's spot the calf, he's loping, or the calf's running, he's so that makes it so easy to catch on and set your goes up. But I mean, there's a lot of good horses out there. It's just it's hard with the right guy. The right horse could be something else too. It's just a fit of roping. So
Schmidt
like you watch
pockets.
You watch someone else get on pockets and they look like it's not that.
Right.
It is hilarious to listen to him talk about that horse too, because like to hear him describe pockets, it would be like somebody getting their grandpa off the front porch. Like, I mean, he said it's terrible to lope him around, but
he ain't comfortable to rope on.
Yeah, he's like, and he just doesn't do anything. He said, but when I back him in the box, he just becomes a totally different animal.
That horse
he's just a gamer.
His own legend. We're at the Kid Rock teams the other day, and this lady walks up to Caleb, and he's sitting on pockets, and she's like, "Hey, can I get a picture?" And Caleb like gets off and tucks his shirt in better. She's like, "No, I just want it with pockets."
Yeah, hold your horse, please.
Actually, can you get off?
And I was like, you know what? I want a picture with pockets now. So I got a picture with pockets the other day.
Oh, well, Riley, thank you so much, buddy. This has been a blast, and like we said at the beginning, we are super proud of you, and you just keep being you, and I firmly believe there's going to be more gold buckles in your future. So
thank
congratulations.
Y'all become family out here. Basically, it's been several years, and when I see y'all at the other rodeos, it's like, all right, there's my family. Gotta go say hi and talk to y'all, and I like talking to y'all and hanging out with y'all. So that's cool. I'm glad I got to come out here and hang out with y'all for a couple days.
Absolutely, we feel the same way, buddy.
Thank you.
Want to experience more of the NFR? Then visit NFRexperience.com, and we invite you to subscribe to NFR Extra on Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and wherever you're listening right now. If you like what you've heard on NFR Extra, we would love it if you gave us a 5-star rating and tell your friends how to subscribe.